Hello, everyone. Hi, Catherine.
Henry.
Welcome back to the Learning Center, Teaching and Learning Center at Foothill College. My name is Henry. On the other side is Catherine. Today, we are jump-starting the playlist and discussion behind reimagining the value of your English courses. And in fact, all your courses, but we can focus it on English to be able to have concise videos. So let's go ahead and get started with the first question. To model what good question statements are, and so that you can actually ask these questions to your professors or people that you trust and are interested in learning from. Catherine, how may we think of English classes in a different light?
Well, I think, first of all, maybe we need to talk about or acknowledge the reality that for many of us, English classes are a requirement to be fulfilled. And the assumption is that we are supposed to get good writing skills out of our English classes. So we're supposed to learn how to write a thesis statement. We're supposed to learn how to organize our papers. We're supposed to learn how to create good transitions between paragraphs and write a great intro and conclusion and many other things. And that is a big part of what English classes are. But I also think that English classes have the potential to do a lot more than that. So for me as a student, English classes were a way for me to realize that I was really passionate about something. And it wasn't necessarily English and all the technical aspects of writing. It was actually having the space and the time to be able to articulate my thoughts about topics. I know that in English classes, sometimes there's a course theme that the class comes with, and I know that when I was in undergrad, we didn't always have a choice in terms of which English class we could get into, because it just depended on the schedule and what was available and how many seats were open. But I realized that no matter what topic we were writing about, or no matter what we were reading about, we actually had the space to be able to think and to respond and to come up with new interpretations. And that was really hard. But it was also really freeing in a lot of ways, because we got to weigh in on a lot of topics that you wouldn't think an 18-year-old would want to weigh in on, or that they would be qualified to weigh in on. But I really felt like English classes gave us that space to be able to weigh in on anything. So I guess that's how I kind of rethink the value of English classes. Being forced to do thinking, and to gain a sense of confidence that you can say something important about many different topics.
I love that response. And in fact, I learned a lot from that response. I'm not sure if students feel the same way. I might begin by saying the unspoken truth of our work in our English classes is the fact that we are not flipping burger patties, which I do at In-N-Out, for 10 hours a day, and we are actually thinking about English as a language and English as a skill and a tool to be able to understand our surroundings more optimally. Meaning to say, it is a privilege to study English. And on that note, I actually read a meme the other day on saying, before you judge someone on their capability of speaking English, just remember that more likely than not, they can say everything that you are saying in English in their own language. I work with only amazing students, and I know none of my students judge others in that light, but it's funny to think about that meme because what Catherine is suggesting in our journey of understanding the language of English more proficiently, we will be able to not only communicate, but seek out truth and information that my coworkers who have given up on higher education may never end up being able to seek out. Um, Meaning to say, English is more valuable than the grades that we receive. And in fact, many of us have been so traumatized in English. When we open up a brochure at a national park, sometimes the paragraph and the writing in the brochure is too much for us to engage in reading and understanding. And I don't think that's totally on us. I think there's pedagogy involved, there's family, environmental factors involved in that type of trauma. But the reality is, if we're in our English classes and we are struggling to find meaning and relevance and to be able to learn what our teacher is expecting us to learn, sometimes we can take a step back and realize, one, I am not on a rice paddy farm picking up rice to feed my family and put food on the table, most likely. Two, when I can learn this language like it's my job, I can then give that power to people that I love. Um, for instance, when I can learn how to read and write effectively as one of the 10 national OpenStax interns, I can communicate to students about the science of learning so that they can engage in more effective study practices. So, okay, that is good for a first iteration of a response to that question. We look forward to hearing your responses to that question in written or video form. And we look forward to working with you. We are the Teaching and Learning Center. My name is Henry.
I'm Catherine.
And we cannot wait to hear how you might reimagine English and your English journey. And maybe you can teach us a little bit of the languages that you speak. Okay, until next time.